Will and Amanda, thank you for joining us on The Point. Today we're at the Grand Hyatt where the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education is holding its K-12 Cybersecurity Education Conference. Amanda, tell us about the conference.
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, first of all. So today's conference is all about cybersecurity and education, and they chose San Antonio because of our innovation in cybersecurity when it comes to education, programs, public-private partnerships, and so it's an honor to host it. And so one of the things that we did this conference actually today was host the first ever Cyber Signing Day. And so what that was celebrating students in cybersecurity with the help of the San Antonio Spurs, with the help of the Coyote, with the help of the Spurs Hype Squad. So we kind of woke up a whole ballroom full of teachers, educators, curriculum developers who are not used to having a coyote run in with a drum into a ballroom. And so the whole point of that is to show, especially here in Texas, that competing is more than sports, right? So we need the competition in cybersecurity to continue and to have these students pursue careers in STEM.
Amanda, you're Deputy Director, and Will, you're the Executive Director of Cybersecurity San Antonio. Tell us about the background of the organization and what you do.
About 3 years ago, following the commissioning of a national study we did that looked at all of our competitor cities. On the defense side and the commercial side, we're like organizations as Cybersecurity San Antonio getting funding from the state, from the local community, from the private sector. How are they structured? How are they doing? The study came back and told us, and the opening line was, San Antonio, you're sitting on a gold mine. You just have not effectively mined the gold yet. And so that was what industry used to go to the mayor, the county judge, the chamber leadership at the time. And the ask was for one person, and ultimately it ended up being myself, but one person that could live in the chamber, be driven by the business community, and could build out a much bigger program. And so for the last 3 years, Amanda came on board, so thankfully, a year ago to round out our team to 2, manage an industry council that's about 250, 300 members large, that has largely brought together the entire ecosystem. And so it's a forcing mechanism every month for that group to get together, to share stories, to ensure what they're doing. And then our challenge has been, how do we actually layer in a structure that year to year tells us, are we doing good, are we growing as a community? And that has been a lot of our effort this year. But by and large, Cybersecurity San Antonio is kind of the holder of the brand, the external voice of that brand, and the internal forcing function for collaboration.
Well, and we have a robust cybersecurity industry in San Antonio because we have some unique assets here,
Right.
and we have some unique talent, right?
Absolutely.
And those assets are?
Yep. So on the higher education side, we have 5 centers for academic excellence. So what does that mean? So NSA and the Department of Homeland Security designate certain universities and 2-year colleges as being exemplary. So they go through rigorous reviews of their curriculum, of their faculty, of how they're hiring their students, their graduation rates, their retention rates, classroom sizes. It's a long process. And so San Antonio has 5 centers of academic excellence. And so that's UTSA, Texas A&M, San Antonio College, St. Philip's College, and Our Lady of the Lake University. So that's the most of any city in the nation.
And on top of those assets that we already have, the educational assets, the military assets, we have some new developments on the horizon. We've got the Center for Cybersecurity Collaboration at UTSA. We have some new developments at Port San Antonio. Can you talk about what's coming up that will make the cybersecurity environment even healthier?
Absolutely, and you mentioned the National Security Collaboration Center, UTSA's fairly recent announcement on what's happening at the port, and I mentioned Amanda and I's role from a brand standpoint. Those are huge impacts to the brand we're sending outside the market, largely to executives or political leadership or military leadership. What UTSA is doing has the chance to truly be globally unique, of creating an environment where government, industry, academia can partner on classified research, can engage students, can engage companies, with an eye towards solving real problems to national security. That effort is very complementary to what's happening at Port San Antonio. 24th Air Force, when it stood up back in 2009 at the port, kind of changed the dynamics at what was former Kelly Air Force Base, from a aerospace, maintenance, repair and overhaul, logistics, transportation environment, to immediately a cyber, highly technical environment. and under Jim Perschbach's leadership as the new CEO this year, a vision of building an innovation campus that connects the national security missions to talent and ideas and entrepreneurs and solutions, but also connects the traditional tenants there, the Boeings, the Lockheeds, Standard Arrows, to new ideas, to entrepreneurs in a way that Jim would phrase platform integration. But how do you have Boeing look for the next app they need to understand flight time modifications on airplane, where they don't look at the West Coast, but they can look at San Antonio and an innovation campus. So those are exciting things for our brand, for our ecosystem. They're also the type of things that get outside executives' attention. So they're big movements that we are strategically involved in and have worked very closely with the mayor over the last couple of months to ensure the community understands these big initiatives that are happening, where are the barriers, where are the obstacles, where are the opportunities, and to figure out how we force them forward in an accelerated time rather than just slowly kind of letting them grow over time.
What's your message to cybersecurity executive in the DC area or Silicon Valley? Why should you come to San Antonio, or why should you expand to San Antonio?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no better time to be in San Antonio, right? We have our 5 CAEs, so the talent's there. We have really engaged, passionate folks at the K-12 level who are ready to partner with industry, who are ready to listen, who want to bring folks into the classroom and co-teach. We have our executives here who are more than happy to speak with people directly and say, this is why I'm in San Antonio, this is why I'm not in Maryland, this is why I'm not in California, this is why I moved here. So you have lots of options here, and it's warmer, we're friendly. It's not a cutthroat community, and I think people feel that when they come to visit. You know, we just want people to come and consider San Antonio and think of us as more than the Riverwalk, more than the Alamo, more than the Spurs, maybe more than football, you know, whatever else is out there, but, you know, think of us as Cybersecurity San Antonio, Cybersecurity USA, and just taking the lead in cyber, but also national security and innovation.
Will and Amanda, thank you for joining us on The Point.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thank you.